Coming to you from the all-new Live House in Hollywood, California.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Pensado's Place. We've got a very special announcement that Dave and I are proud to share with you. But first, Warm Audio is having their holiday season discount sale for you to get select Warm Audio gear. This runs through the end of December. You want to make that move, go to your available participating dealers, much like our friends at Sweetwater, and take advantage of that. Dave and I want to remind you about the special Pensado's Place panel we're having at NAMM on January 17th. That's up in the Hilton Ballroom at 5 o'clock on the second floor. We're really excited. We've been telling you about Alex Tumay. He'll be there. Louis Bell, he'll be there. We've been promising you a third, and of course, we've pulled that off. We're adding FINNEAS to this list, and it's going to be an amazing conversation with super hot, talented guys. Your opportunity to meet them. You think about the range of artists that they've affected in such amazing ways. We're talking Post Malone, Travis Scott, Camila Cabello, Drake, 21 Savage, Selena, Billie Eilish, and of course, FINNEAS himself is an artist with incredible music. And you know, by the time we're done, who knows, we may add another super hot talent. We want this panel to be off the chain. Afterwards, there'll be a meetup hang where you can meet our guests, take pictures, ask questions, hang with Dave and I, do what you want to do. Plus, we're making it available that you can win awesome prizes. Our buds at Sweetwater, Warm Audio, and Auto Tunes are going to make things available for you to win. We'll be letting you know what that stuff is. And if that's not enough, our partners at NAMM are making it really available for you to get in cheap. That's for our audience only. For that huge discount, go to the link, enter the code Pensado, and you can get in for a mere $25. I'm telling you right now, hurry, hurry, hurry. Don't delay. They will go quickly. This panel is going to absolutely rock. And to remind you, it's Friday, January 17th, 5 p.m. in the Hilton Ballroom. We got stars. We've got information. We're going to hang out. We've got fun. We've got prizes, and we need you. So be there. Now, to remember all this goodness, sign up for our newsletter. Hit like, subscribe, and click notify. Do that now, and we'll see you there. Well, we need to bring all you guys up to speed on something that happened to us recently, and we think that a lot of it is because of you. We want to thank you. We got a call from NAMM, and every year they induct somebody into the TEC Hall of Fame. And there's a number of illustrious names that are part of this Hall of Fame. Quincy Jones and Arif Mardin, Phil Ramone, Ed Cherney, Phil Spector, could go on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And the honorees for 2020 are Dave Pensado and Herb Trollock. And so we are blown away at
Absolutely.
it. It is for our pre-Pensado career and our Pensado career. I think it's a lot because of our Pensado's Place career. And so we need to thank you for that. And, Dave, I wanted to just get, what are your thoughts about this? This either means we did good work or we just stayed alive. I'm not sure which one.
To say I'm honored is an understatement. I wasn't expecting it. We've got a show, and I didn't know that would qualify even for the award, but it's incredible to have the award. I felt the same way you did, where I immediately thought of some of the past winners, and to be included in that category, like with the people you named.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm not trying to be humble, because that's not what I do, but
no.
But it was humbling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't wait to go give a little speech, and just to get serious for a moment. You've done a spectacular job of taking the show from just a show to an amazing show. And the show is a product of your imagination, and a product of your hard work, and a product of sometimes making my hair look good. Everything involved with the show. So
I've not been successful with that part.
Well, we're working on it.
We're working on this.
But my friend, I can't wait to stand up in front of those people, and hopefully there'll be some distinguished people there, and just not just thank the TEC Awards, but thank you for being a part of everything and part of my life for 30 years, my friend.
Yeah. Well, and I think to build upon that, we didn't get here alone. Our team,
absolutely,
the various teams through the years. Although I think the team we have now is the best team we've had.
Absolutely.
From a production standpoint, from an overview, marketing standpoint, social media, our audience. And I think, this is one of the things that I clarified with them when they called me. Was it just for Pensado's Place or was it pre-Pensado's Place? And it really is for both. Oh. So, your mixing career, my management career, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, I think my input would be this, and it would be to our audience. Dream. Keep the little kid about you that wanted to go someplace.
Absolutely.
Most of the greats that sit to our left do that. They don't let go of that. You hope people notice, but I think if you just keep your head down and keep grinding, sooner or later things will come about. It is amazing, humbling experience to realize, God, I'm in something with Al Schmidt and, Quincy Jones and all these people. And,
they're probably at home thinking, how'd those guys get in with us?
Well, the other part that's interesting about our particular platform, particularly this platform, is that so many of those people have been on the show.
True.
So, without belaboring the point, congratulations.
Congratulations.
We're all here because we all believed and everybody did their part, including people that you don't know who are a great team. We're here because of the audience, and we're here because we sort of dare to try to do things differently. So,
and with quality.
Amazing honor, and congratulations. On January 18th, we will get up there and do something. Accept something. So
it's gonna be fun.
Pretty cool stuff. Again, thanks to the team, thanks to you guys, and thanks to NAMM for gracing us with that.
Yes.
Speaking of self-made things, a couple weeks ago we introduced your plugin.
Yeah.
And we promised the audience we would do a deep dive in ITL on it. We waited a long time, obviously, before you put your name on something.
Right. 30 years.
And there's going to be more things that come with it, right? There's going to be presets and stuff from some of the friends and stuff. You did an ITL on some specifics. Why don't you introduce it?
Well, I picked several ways to show you how I use it. Let's take a look at that. Man, can you believe it? I got my own plug-in. Oh my gosh. One of the reasons I waited so long was I wanted the technology to catch up to my ideas, and we finally got there. And so in collaboration with Luca Predalesi, my good friend, Studio DMI, and Acoustic in LA, Las Vegas, and Milan, we finally came up with something I can proudly put my name on and be real happy to share with you. Real quick, I want a big shout out to my team, Jaime Estalella and Nico Hamui. They did so much work on this plugin, and I owe them so much for that. Big shout out to Dylan Dresdo and Bob Horn for helping me also. So let's get right down to it. Throughout my career, I would notice that one particular piece of gear or one plugin would do really well at one frequency range, and then not necessarily do bad at another, but then there'd be another piece of equipment that I liked a different frequency on. So what I thought was instead of going and buying 30 or 40 pieces of gear, why not get the best of those 30 or 40 pieces of gear? So this plugin is essentially all-star frequencies from I don't know how many, 30, 40 pieces of equipment. So for example, there's a piece of gear that I've always loved, the 6K, 7K, 8K. There's 3 different pieces of gear that I like that on. There's some pieces of gear that I like the 40K on, and you say, Dave, you can't hear 40K. But what happens is that kind of tapers off on the bandwidth. You can hear that. This plugin isn't designed to do deep surgical work. It's designed to walk up to it, grab a knob, listen to what it sounds like, and then if you like it, move on. If not, find another frequency. So the frequencies tend to not be exact. So if it says 7K, it could be wider than 7K. It could be narrow. And then also I fell in love with different pieces of gear when you boosted a frequency as opposed to when you cut a frequency. So when you boost a frequency, it's one piece of gear, and when you cut it, most of the times it's another piece of gear. And then we've manipulated some of the curves, and then we've manipulated a lot of the things when we cut. And then there's a couple of spots I'll show you where we actually sampled subharmonic generators. So it was a lot of work. It was over a year, and I think I drove the poor DMI and Acoustica team crazy with the process, but it turned out great. And then I always liked a little color with my EQ, so we've got two preamps that you can choose from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite production duos, Jordan and Mike over at the Jam production group, and my new favorite artist, Ilona, and this is a song you can find on streaming services, Lie So Well. I really love this mix. I'm real happy with it. Now, here's without the plug-in. When I got the mix this far along, I felt like I could take it up another notch. So I'd just gotten my plug-in, and I thought, well, let me give it a try. And this is what I came up with. So I want you to listen to several things. Listen to the energy in the hi-hat. Without the hi-hat, you might move like this. With the hi-hat, you might move like this. So I want to create a rhythm. And so what I've done is I've used this frequency here to kind of make sure that the hi-hat is contributing the feel for the groove. And then that little boop, boop, I can't duplicate it, but I'll show it to you. Watch my fingers. I really wanted to hear that. So this frequency here is bringing that out. This has helped bring that out. And that gives me a foundational rhythm pattern that I can build the rest of the drum tracks on. So let me mess with this. So did you feel some of those elements, those two elements that I talked to you about, kind of get absorbed into the mix? So you'll notice here on the lows, we've got these frequencies. Now these are frequencies that I work with a lot. And remember now, as you cut, something different happens, very musical, and as you boost, something happens, very musical. And here's the preamps. I'm not using them at this point. We'll use them in a little bit, and I'll show you. Now you see this 2x here. It doubles the amount of gain or reduction you can get from these from these knobs. The reason we did it this way is it made more sense because when you're boosting a little bit, you want a little more precision. And then when you just want to crank it up and like make people go deaf, making it so loud, you need less resolution. And so I'm trying to actually create something that I need a little more, a little more aggressiveness with right here. Now something interesting. Check the low end. Now these two frequencies they're not sampled from an equalizer. They're sampled from a subharmonic generator, and this one's one type, and this is another type. I don't know that anybody's ever really done that, but I felt it was musical. So, heck, what the heck? Sounds good. And moving up here, these are ranges. So these three groups here encompass quite a bit. There's a part of the frequency spectrum that our brains are tuned into because our brains are designed to interpret and hear speech and hear people talking to us. And sometimes, in some cases, it's to hear a baby's cry. And so these frequencies are designed to help give you that sense of volume because it's the brain is sensitive and the ear is sensitive to that. I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit and you'll see what I'm talking about. Which one did you like? I kind of like this one, but I kind of like this one. So I don't know which one to choose. Let's go with that one. Now, stereo bus requires a different thought process than, say, a vocal or a kick drum or a bass. And I want to show you how I use this plugin in those situations. Okay. When I hear a kick drum in a song, it helps define the genre of that song for me. It helps me have an anchor for the groove that I want to feel. The kick drum can impart power. It can impart a feeling of just take you over, you know, like an 808 occupies so much space and it's such a wonderful sound. I don't know if we should call it wonderful, but it's just a beautiful, ugly sound. And so the kick drum is more than just a timekeeper. Now, on this kick drum, I got it pretty close, and then I put my plug-in on it. Now, remember now, we're not trying to do surgery. Like, you're not trying to take out like a band of frequencies from say 1K to 1.01K. You're working with groups of frequencies that convey a musical thought. Here's what we started with. Okay, even if I do say so myself, I got it sounding pretty damn good. But let's see if we can make it better. Okay, so what we've done is we want this kick to be a feature because there's not a lot of elements that we need to kind of draw the listener's attention to. And so how do we get the attention of the listener drawn to that kick drum, that feel, that power, and something that backs up the vocal? Well, what you do is you think of what the different frequencies of that kick drum are contributing. Now, the low end is contributing some power. The top end is contributing the front to rear placement in the mix. So let me show you that. We'll show you how to place it front to rear. Did you feel it? Did you feel it? Cool. So what we're doing is we're bringing up probably 700 to I don't remember, but it's the Fletcher Munson area. I'm not really so concerned about the accuracy of the numbers as I am concerned about what it does and how it makes me feel. As a quick aside, we've got a preamp going on this, right? We've got our auto gain so that whatever we do it automatically compensates for any volume increases and tries to keep the volume level in terms of what comes in should be just as loud as what goes out. So that's why we've clicked this button. Did you feel that? That was pretty amazing to me. I like working down here. I love this, so watch. That kick already sounded pretty good. We've got a tempo that I think having too long a decay is gonna affect the groove, and having like a boom, I didn't want to hear that. It would affect the groove. But we got a very tight kick. Now, when you have a tight kick, it's hard to get low end because the decay time doesn't allow your brain to process the low end. So instead of having you just got it's harder to do. And so I think this did a great job on that. Now, the low mids, don't listen for the frequency that I'm taking out. Listen to the frequency that jumped up when I took it out. Okay, you ready? You hear the definition come back in, so that's what we're doing here. We're taking out this frequency so that we can hear some of the 4, 5, 6, 8 above it. Now listen again. And because normally when we're taking any of these frequencies out, we don't need the same curve that we have when we boost those frequencies. So the curve is different, and it's tailored to what I felt was the proper curve to reveal other frequencies in this range, because we do that quite a bit in mixing. And here we go. The upper mids, we already talked about that. This is the money right here. If your mix isn't competing with some of the other material you hear on the radio, like say this mix right now, this is the, don't listen to the frequencies, just listen to your perception of volume. Got it? Got it? You know what? Let's do some 2x damage over here. And then the high end is one of those groups of frequencies that you need to have for clarity, that you need to have for depth, and that you need to have for determining genre. Not that genre is important anymore these days with streaming services. It's less important than ever. But think of genre nowadays as a unified approach to frequency. So in other words, if you have everything working towards a vision, and that vision is a hip hop song or a rock song or a ballad, well, you want all of these different elements and frequencies to work together. So I'm using genre in that way, as opposed to defining what radio station it's on. that thought process to me is a little bit obsolete. And so close your eyes and listen to the high frequencies, and let me I'll go from a pop all the way down to, say, 80s hip hop, 90s hip hop. So watch. So we'll use this one. We'll use this one for the example. Okay, so watch this. Watch this. Watch this. We'll start. Let's start like in the late 2000 teens. Here again, I wouldn't call that exactly subtle, because you're listening for a hi-hat, not trying to listen for the general feeling of what you got. But if you play it back and close your eyes and separate yourself from the process, you'll see that when there's a lot more high end, it feels kind of sweet and sugary, and then some might argue too sweet and too sugary. And then as we get a little less of that high end, you start seeing a spot where it feels good to you, you know. So like if you're a 90s aficionado for hip hop, it's down in here and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then the filters are sweet. They're designed to be musical also. And so let's try it on some bass now. You want to? So right now we've got our stereo bus sounding pretty good. We've got our drums sounding pretty good. Let's finish the rhythm section by checking out what we can do with the bass. I'm going to start without it. Okay, now what I try to do is imagine in my head what I want it to sound like, and then I drive myself crazy trying to get it to sound that way. So what I wanted to do was, check this out. So I wanted to have some extended low end, maybe a half octave down, maybe a fourth of an octave down, so you can hear that sub come in. And then I want a little definition for the top end of the notes so that it could cut through the mix. And then it has to play nice with a kick drum. They can't conflict with each other. They need to work happy. So watch. Ooh, I felt the energy go down. Did you feel that? I wasn't expecting that. Watch. Man, if you can't feel that, come on, guys. That's amazing. Okay, so now the denouement, the most important thing. Let's do some vocals. Okay, vocals. Now, probably the most important part of a pop song or any song that's popular today is the vocal or the rap. It's everything revolves and resolves around that particular sound. Now, what I was trying to do with this vocal was give her a little power, give her a little authority, make sure that I emphasized all the nuances of her performance. She has some of these little textures, and sometimes she does. I don't know how to describe it. I'm probably going to insult her by saying this, but it's not a yodel, but it's kind of one of those little. I don't know what you would call it. She slides real fast from a part of a note to another, and I think that carries a lot of her personality in it. So let's see how we attempted that. This is without it.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
Here's with it.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
Okay, so what have we done? What I noticed was there was a little more energy in the upper frequencies, like the 4K to 8K, 10K, but I had to tame them. So this is the taming right here.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
And here's just the adding them.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
Listen to the energy that comes in.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back. See you.
To me, that's night and day, but it's a little much, so we're gonna tame it with this.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
And we'll put it in the track.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back. See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back. See you run around.
Phew. Man, night and day. Watch this. Man, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Let's take the preamp off and see what it does.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back. See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
I'm not mad at that, you know. That could work too. It's interesting the way low end and high end works. If you want a little less high end, raise the low end. If you want a little less, anyway, you get the picture. So it works like this. High end goes down, low end feels like it's getting louder. High end up, low end feels like it's getting softer. So I'm not sure I said that right, but you get the picture. So what we're doing is I wanted to tame a little bit of the high end, but at the same time I wanted to get a little bit more low end. So let's hear it without these two.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back. See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
So you saw how the high end went down, but all I did was turn the low end up. One more time.
See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back. See you run around with childish friends, saying things behind my back.
We've given you a tool that I think is going to be a very musical tool for you. There's a tiny bit of a learning curve, not too bad. I think you should just experiment with it. Me personally, I really don't look at these numbers. It messes with me and it prejudices me, but I put them there because sometimes I forget where things are and I do need to look at them. But mostly just close your eyes and just turn knobs till your heart's content, and when you get something, open your eyes. That's kind of, I think, what this music mix thing is kind of all about. If some of the things I've told you along the way today don't immediately register with you, or if you're like, damn, Dave, I didn't feel anything. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Well, it could be that I don't know what I'm talking about either, but I think I do know a couple of things about emotion and feel and energy and vibe, thanks to my childhood and where I grew up. I'm pretty sure that it's not one little tiny emotional element that you add, but if you add 10 or 15 of those along the way, it really starts to add up, and it can really make a difference in your income, in your chart placement, in how many streamings, how many playlists you're on, how many streaming services like you. It really is important, and that's been a real important part of my career, my entire career. Sometimes I'd rather have something that feels good than sounds good. It's a lot like Mama's cooking. It might not be the best in the world, but boy, I miss Mama's cooking. Adios.
So, hope you enjoyed the ITL. It's a tool you can use if you're learning, if you're a pro. It works all the way across the board, a very cool thing. Thanks for your support in our TEC Hall of Fame award. And next week, we have a very special guest, the one, the only Anderson .Paak. And we'll see you next week.